Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're opening up some really remarkable source material. It details what's claimed to be, well, an absolute turning point. We're talking global economic and personal development here. A huge undertaking. Its architects suggest it will redefine how we see success, technology, community, everything, really.
And the language being used, it's not your typical corporate speak. It's the language of transformation, systemic transformation.
It really is.
Yeah.
The sources describe this core event not just as, a training session or a conference. They call it a moment so powerful that it resets the mindset of humanity, redirects the path of progress, and ignites the sleeping potential within millions. When the claims are that high, well, our job isn't to endorse them. It's to meticulously pull apart and analyze the mechanics, the philosophy, the goals behind that vision.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We're focusing right on the claims made by Ash Mufareh. He's the founder, the visionary behind VictoryWithAsh and this whole on-passive powered ecosystem. And our source material confirms he's preparing to literally train the world. That's the quote. That's exactly our mission here. To dive into the granular details, this deep dive has to extract precisely how this training claims to achieve this alignment, between humanity with intelligence, automation, and abundance. The whole thing is framed as a transformation event, built on 3 pillars: mindset, mastery, and movement. We really need to dissect each one to give you, the listener, a clear picture of what this system claims to be.
That roadmap sounds crucial. And the material, it's really insistent that the starting point isn't the tech or the money. It's the mind itself. We begin with the philosophical bedrock. Seems like we need to grasp that before the system's mechanics even make sense.
Right. Ash Mufareh's vision, it kicks off by radically redefining value. The source material lays down this fundamental principle. Knowledge is the true capital of the new age.
Wow. Knowledge as true capital. That's a huge shift, isn't it? Historically, capital was land, maybe labor, physical stuff, money. So if knowledge is the new capital, what does that replace? And crucially, how does this training claim to monetize that intellectual capacity?
Well, if we unpack that claim, it suggests physical assets are becoming secondary. Secondary to the ability to understand, navigate, and use these complex digital systems. Before, maybe access to resources dictated success. Now it's understanding the interconnected systems that becomes the key currency, you see. And the training is built on 3 steps to activate this capital: to teach, to empower, and to awaken participants. It's not just about giving them tools, it's about ensuring they have the mental framework, the right mindset to use those tools effectively and ethically.
Okay, so the training isn't just a user manual for the on-a-passive platform. It's giving the underlying context, addressing the how and the why.
Precisely. Founders, participants, they'll learn not only how the new system works, the clicks, the dashboards, but more importantly, why it was engineered this way. The sources really emphasize that every module, every tool, every digital pillar under VictoryWithAsh is rooted in maximizing the user experience, making life simpler, business smarter, and this is interesting, human interaction more genuine. That last point suggests, maybe, a design meant to filter out the usual digital noise, making real, purposeful connection the default.
Authenticity through automation. That's a fascinating tension. But before the tech can be used, the sources insist on mindset first. This is where the training shifts to personal development, right? Arguing you can't leverage this intellectual capital until your mind is ready for action.
This is the core psychological claim of the whole ecosystem, really. Wealth begins in the mind before it shows up in the wallet. So the training is structured to kickstart personal development first, aiming to radically change the participants' role in the global economy. They're not just taught to consume information or products, they're trained to think like global creators, not consumers.
That distinction, creator versus consumer, that feels critical. What does this training actually look like then in practice? I mean, how do you train someone to be a global creator?
Well, the sources suggest it involves deep training in specific internal disciplines, things needed for success in this digital age. Being a creator means actively participating, right? In expanding and maintaining the ecosystem, not just passively getting benefits. So the curriculum dives deep into the psychology of success. In a world that's hyper-connected, but also, super distracting, it involves teaching founders not just what to do, but how to mentally shield themselves against the noise, the fear, the usual competitive urges.
And the goal is abundance, which the sources define not as luck, but as the result of specific internal practices.
Correct. The training outlines how to attract abundance through disciplined execution. And this isn't just some vague concept. It means cultivating 3 specific traits: discipline, patience, and smart action. Discipline for consistency, patience for the long haul, especially when everyone wants instant results. And smart action means using the AI tools provided, not wasting effort on manual stuff. For instance, a core idea is reportedly teaching people to delay immediate gratification. Invest time learning the system now to reap automated, sustained returns later. Makes sense.
Okay, moving beyond just personal profit, the material puts a lot of weight on community interaction, almost like it's required for success. They talk about building influence without manipulation, leading with integrity.
Yeah, that speaks to the integrity firewall built into the whole philosophy. If the system is designed to reward fairness and collaboration, which we'll get into, then you need an ethically sound user base, right? The training explicitly gives tools for building legitimate digital influence by adding real value, not using the usual online tricks like clickbait or fake scarcity. And leading with integrity in a noisy world means teaching participants to prioritize long-term, genuine connections over quick wins. That helps the ecosystem maintain trust.
It sounds less like typical business training and more like ethical conditioning, preparing the users to be the system's moral compass.
That's exactly the link they seem to be making. This ethical mindset training is the essential bridge to the technology. The philosophical core leads to that statement. AI without purpose is empty, but AI powered by humanity is unstoppable. It confirms the human element. The ethically trained founder provides the moral direction, the goals for the AI systems to execute. The technology is just the engine. Humanity is the driver with purpose.
That frames the transition really well. Once the purpose is defined, the mindset is set to creator. Now we can look at the machine itself. Let's move to section 2. Dive into the actual system mechanics, the mastery part.
Right, so the sources frame VictoryWithAsh not just as a bunch of tools, but as a digital revolution, one that merges automation, finance, and opportunity. And crucially, the claim is that the underlying goal is radical inclusion, creating a framework allowing everyone, small business owners, global innovators, whoever, to participate in what they call a fair, transparent, and self-sustaining economy.
Achieving a self-sustaining economy that needs incredibly precise engineering. How does the training break down this idea, engineering for maximum impact?
The training modules really emphasize that every component is intentionally designed to amplify user efforts. And the engineering focuses heavily on automation. Participants get comprehensive guidance on navigating the AI-driven dashboards that automate work and maximize impact. To spell out what that means for a user, think about a traditional business. Manual data entry, repetitive marketing, complex tracking. These AI dashboards are claimed to handle those tasks autonomously, so the user's role changes. It shifts from doing the work to strategic oversight, setting ethical goals.
We need to get granular here on these technical bits, because that's where confusion often pops up. When we talk about AI-driven dashboards, what specifically does the training reveal about how they work? What tasks are being automated?
The sources imply a whole suite of functions. The automation seems to cover several key areas for a digital entrepreneur. First, marketing and outreach. The AI reportedly handles targeted campaigns, lead generation, based on user parameters, frees up the founder's time. Second, admin and tracking. The system automatically monitors, updates, optimizes performance metrics, all in real time. Third, and maybe the most vital part, is automation related to compensation and distribution, making sure rewards are tracked and allocated instantly without human intervention, which ties right into that transparency claim.
Right, this is the classroom for tomorrow part. What do participants learn about the actual money side? We need the specifics.
Yeah.
How is this abundance supposedly generated? And more importantly, managed and distributed automatically?
The training aims to give participants complete mastery over these financial mechanics. A major focus is understanding the new referral link system, how it's claimed to empower immediate and sustained financial growth. This isn't just a simple link. The training explains how that digital connection itself is tied to the collective success of the whole ecosystem. Participants learn the practical steps, activating accounts, generating and managing referrals, and crucially, how their activity contributes to the larger resource pool.
Let's focus on that automated distribution. That's the core of the fair and transparent claim, isn't it? If it removes admin burden and potential bias, the calculation rules have to be crystal clear.
They must be. And the training reportedly spends significant time on this. The essential lesson is showing how the system automatically calculates and distributes rewards. Now, the specific proprietary algorithms probably aren't shared, but the principles taught involve transparency about the formula used. This system supposedly calculates distribution based on verifiable contribution, participation level within the network, and then it executes the payout instantly via the platform. This instant rule-based distribution is meant to eliminate the trust gap you often see in traditional finance or MLM-type structures.
So the AI acts like an impartial, totally transparent accountant for the whole network.
Exactly. And what's more, the training explicitly covers using integrated AI tools not just for basic automation, but specifically to expand influence and wealth. So teaching users advanced strategies for optimization, using the AI to spot growth opportunities, market gaps, potential collaborators, treating the AI almost like an indispensable partner in growth, a non-human partner.
It sounds like the technology is meticulously designed to reinforce the philosophy we just talked about.
That's the critical connection point, yes. The ecosystem is like the physical manifestation of the knowledge and mindset gained. The tech handles the heavy lifting, the laborious, repetitive calculation stuff, ensuring fairness, maximizing efficiency. This frees up the human founder to focus on their role as a creator, contributing strategically, ethically to the overall purpose, not getting bogged down in operational details. The system plugs users into a marketplace where the tech ensures growth, provided the user sticks to the ethical standards of contribution.
Okay, that transition to ethical standards is key. If the tech is built for fairness, what moral framework is needed from the humans to sustain this? Well, highly ambitious, collaborative ecosystem. Let's move to section 3, the ethical imperative.
Right, this section is really the soul of the transformation event. It establishes the ethics of abundance. And the claim is pretty radical. This isn't just a commercial venture, it's a movement where helping others succeed becomes the real business model. That's a complete inversion of typical competitive markets where success is often measured against someone else failing. Here, success is structurally linked to the prosperity of the whole network.
If generosity is the main economic driver, wow, then the training has to deeply condition people to stick to that. What specific values are emphasized in the training to make this economic model work?
The material suggests the training is designed specifically to instill a deep sense of gratitude, humility, and purpose. Gratitude comes from recognizing your success depends on the collaborative network. Humility is vital because in an automated system, the human ego trying to hoard credit or resources could wreck the transparency. And purpose gives the moral direction for using the AI systems, right? Preventing misuse for purely selfish reasons. These aren't just soft skills, they're framed as actual structural requirements for the network to remain stable.
That leads straight to the core ethical principle about success and service. How does the training practically enforce this idea that success without service is meaningless?
This is where the curriculum defines achievement differently. As contribution, not just accumulation. The training explicitly mandates that founders use the system not just for their own wealth, but to actively create a legacy of transformation. That means teaching them how to use their automated earnings to fund charity, support community development, mentor newcomers, positioning their personal success as a way to provide greater service to the community. The expectation is that success will inevitably flow back into societal benefit.
This focus on legacy and contribution, it fundamentally changes the required relationship between users. The sources are clear. The new focus is collaboration, not competition.
Yeah, the training must be very effective at shifting people away from that zero-sum game mentality. To foster collaboration, the training likely uses case studies, practical strategies, showing that shared growth actually maximizes individual return. You know, the whole rising tide lifts all boats idea, but structurally enforced by the system's payout mechanics. It's teaching founders that helping their referrals succeed doesn't cut into their own reward, it actually amplifies it.
And to make this ethical shift feel real, the material claims every digital action, every link, connection, login is meant to carry meaning.
Yes, it elevates a simple transaction into essentially a moral action. If every interaction carries meaning, participants are trained to see their digital activity as part of their ethical purpose. Referring someone isn't just a sales opportunity, it's presented as an act of empowerment. The underlying message is consistent throughout the sources. The ultimate focus isn't what you get, the money, it's what you become, the ethically grounded, significant contributor to this global transformation. This internal philosophical win is the essence of the hashtag VictoryWithAsh movement.
Okay, the scale of this movement is what we have to look at next. We've defined the individual mindset, the tech mechanics, but the claims go way beyond the personal. The sources say the effects of this transformation will ripple across the planet. Let's turn to that movement pillar. Ash Mufareh's training is explicitly positioned to create a ripple effect, claiming it will ripple across communities, economies, and nations. How does the source material justify such an enormous claim about global change?
Well, the ambition is definitely system-wide impact. The sources organize the claimed result into 4 distinct pillars of global transformation. The individual founder's journey is just the starting fuel for this engine of global change.
Starting with the economic pillar then, what's the desired large-scale result of creating millions of these financially independent digital entrepreneurs?
Economically, the goal seems to be building unprecedented grassroots stability. The training intends to create a global network of financially independent people, specifically targeting youths, parents, professionals, those who might normally be disadvantaged. By using the VictoryWithAsh automation, these entrepreneurs are claimed to generate sustainable, predictable income. The sources suggest this creates economic resilience at the bottom of the global pyramid, generating wealth that stays within communities, not just consolidating at the top. The sheer volume of this planned network is positioned as the lever for global economic rebalancing.
Okay, moving to the social pillar, this is about unity. How does this system claim it can foster collaboration across borders, overcome existing social divisions?
Socially, the claim is that the shared experience, the training, the common economic purpose will create a new kind of global unity. And crucially, this unity is defined as not based on race, region, or religion, the usual dividing lines, but purely on shared growth and purpose. Because the system rewards collaboration regardless of location, the training promotes operational unity. So a founder on one continent can easily use the tech to help and partner with someone on another continent, focusing only on the shared goal, building that legacy. This functional unity is intended to just bypass geographical or political boundaries.
And technologically, how has humanity's overall relationship with the digital future changed by this movement?
Technologically, the aim is to usher humanity into a digital future built on trust and transparency. The key is teaching people to move beyond just using tech to actually working with AI as a partner. The fear and complexity around AI, addressed directly by training users to be the ethical decision makers, while delegating the burdensome, maybe opaque mechanics to the automated system. This reframes AI, not as a threat taking jobs, but as a collaborative tool amplifying purpose.
Right. And finally, the spiritual impact. This brings us back around to the ethics we talked about in Section 3.
Yeah, the spiritual pillar ties the internal transformation into global action, inspiring this widespread sense of gratitude, humility, purpose. It reinforces that ethical mandate. Every transaction must serve a higher purpose than just self-enrichment. This pillar ensures the rapid economic growth enabled by the tech stays guided by moral intent, grounding the whole global project in a collective sense of responsibility.
This mix of automated economics and required ethics leads to that very ambitious concept the sources call the New World Order of Goodness. This is where the training dictates systemic global changes, facilitated by the platform itself. What are the specific mechanisms built into the system, the ones claimed to facilitate this new order?
The source material is actually quite specific about the systemic capabilities taught in the training. First, the system is claimed to connect nations without bias, which means the tech infrastructure has to be politically and regionally neutral, offering equal opportunity, which directly serves that social pillar of unity.
And how is fairness structurally rewarded?
The system is designed to reward fairness and honesty. This implies the algorithms governing distribution aren't just about efficiency. They're structured to identify and reward behaviors matching the ethical code taught in the training. Furthermore, accountability is woven right into the digital fabric. The system is claimed to promote transparency through digital accountability, meaning all transactions, contributions, they're verifiable, preventing the centralized control or opacity common in older models.
And maybe the most impactful claim, the automated giving back mechanism.
Yes, the training details how the system is set up to give back to society through every transaction made. This embeds social responsibility directly into the economic flow. It suggests a mandatory automated percentage or fund going towards global charitable initiatives, making philanthropy an intrinsic feature, not just an optional extra. This is the structural enforcement of that idea. Success without service is meaningless.
So the method for changing the world isn't through lobbying or politics, but by establishing a globally successful, ethically mandated economic model that just works better.
That is the ultimate thesis, yes. The sources claim the world will change not by force, but by example. By demonstrating a functionally superior model, one that intrinsically rewards ethical behavior, ensures transparency, automatically supports social good, the movement seeks to inspire broader adoption and reform simply because the new model is claimed to be demonstrably better for everyone involved. #outro.
This has been an incredibly detailed look at a profoundly ambitious set of claims. Regarding Ash Mufareh's global transformation training, to finish up, let's just recap that invitation to greatness extended to every participant. What are the 3 simple but critical tasks required of those founders?
Right. The invitation needs 3 fundamental acts of commitment. First, show up, which implies being present, dedicated to the process. Second, learn deeply, engaging fully with all this complex material, the philosophy and the mechanics. And third, act decisively, applying the tools, the ethical standards, without hesitation. The visionary claims the system is built, but its success really hinges entirely on the committed action of the participants.
The global impact, the movement. It's defined by this single moment of ignition, isn't it? The sources frame this whole thing as the starting gun for a massive global shift, happening when education met innovation and vision met action.
It absolutely elevates the function of this ecosystem beyond just business. This is positioned as the ignition of a movement where literally learning is earning.
Yep.
Founders become leaders. Participants are promised a world where technology finally serves humanity and not the other way around. That reversal of the usual man-machine relationship is the critical promise of the #VictoryWithAsh movement.
So if you show up, learn, and act decisively, the ultimate promise isn't just success, it's significance.
Precisely. That's the ultimate promise emphasized throughout the source material. What participants learn won't just make them successful, it will make them significant. The system is designed to ensure every individual contribution is traceable, meaningful, contributes to this larger legacy of transformation. That pursuit of significance, achieving impact and service, that's the declared core aim of the whole movement.
That really reframes the whole definition of prosperity, doesn't it? Moving beyond just personal accumulation to mandated contribution. As we step back from all these comprehensive claims of the training, it leaves us with a really provocative thought for you, the learner, to consider.
Yeah, we've established this. Training envisions a world where every digital transaction carries specific, moral, charitable meaning, where interactions are defined by purpose, collaboration. The question this raises is pretty fundamental. What does a truly self-sustaining economy actually look like? Not in theory, but in practice. When its rules aren't just based on profit and efficiency, but are also intrinsically defined by digital accountability and constant automated giving back to society.
If the economics are fundamentally built around generosity and transparency, how does that change the function of wealth itself? And what are the unexpected societal effects when technology actually enforces benevolence? A lot to think about as this claimed new era begins to unfold.
Indeed. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. If you're tuning in, you're definitely looking to get past the headlines and really dig into the details. Today we are taking a serious deep dive, a real analytical look into a pretty hefty piece of communication. It's the 100-minute encouragement message about the rollout of OnPass's new referral link system. And they specifically branded this whole thing, the #VictoryWithAsh movement.
That's right. And, this isn't some dry press release we're looking at. Not at all. The material itself, it feels less like a technical spec sheet and, well, much more like a kind of transformational manifesto, maybe even philosophical. And it's delivered directly to a very specific group. We need to be clear about who that is right up front. We're talking about the founders and the visionaries. These are the early supporters, the initial backers, the core group invested in this on-passive ecosystem of AI and automated tools.
Okay, so our job today, our mission, it's complex, but I think pretty clear. We need to unpack everything claimed in this message, all of it. That means the functional promises, what this thing is supposed to do, the financial model they've laid out, and critically, the really big philosophical ideas behind it, the aspirational stuff, all coming from Ash Mufareh, who's presented as the architect, the leader of this whole thing. And the narrative really frames this not just as some update, but as the defining moment, a major transition for the entire movement.
Precisely. And what's really fascinating, just looking at it from a communication perspective, is how they take something fundamentally technical. I mean, it's a referral link, right?
Yeah.
But they elevate it into something incredibly abstract, highly motivational. So the big question, the one we need to keep circling back to in this deep dive, is this. What exactly are these new links promising? Functionally, yes, but also aspirationally. And why on earth are they calling them keys to destiny? I mean, that's quite a label.
Keys to destiny.
Yeah, that's definitely not your usual tech jargon, is it? An unprecedented level of, hyperbole or network infrastructure. Okay, let's start unpacking the architecture itself. Section 1. The links defined, how are they actually introduced? Right, you just have to start with the language. The rhetoric is intense. This rollout isn't presented gently. They call it a digital sunrise. Straight away, you get this image of a new beginning, right? A bright new era after maybe a long wait or preparation. Then they're labeled keys to destiny, as we said. Also a sign of progress, and maybe most strongly, a symbol of the revolution.
Exactly. And you can see the strategy there, can't you? The rhetoric is working hard to kind of delegitimize the past waiting period and validate this future moment. All at once. The specific claim woven through all this drama is that these links, these specific links, are the actual mechanism bridging the past, the waiting, the present, this rollout moment, and what they call the boundless future, which means success. So this framing makes the link absolutely essential. It's the vehicle carrying the whole company narrative forward. It's like they're defining their identity through this forward motion. And the links